So thank you, ladies, for your vision boards. Those were extremely helpful. So while you've been thinking about your amazing transformation, I've been thinking about how I want to help you. And I've started sketching, and I'm going to show you those in just a little bit, but what I really wanted to do was take a moment to walk you through some just basic information on fashion and how it can really help transform your body no matter what you're wearing, and whether or not I'm around. Because as much as I know I would love to be with you all the time, I know you're all very busy and you have important lives, and now that you're going to be these new amazing women, you're not going to have any time for me. So I should just get used to that now. So I brought out some of my favorite pieces. I've got some fabric swatches and some of the body styles that I think you should know about, and then there's also some behind me that we'll talk about. One of the great characteristics of fashion is fabrication, and I cannot stress that enough. It's all about the fabric before you buy it, because you could put it on and it could look great. It might last a day, it might last a week, it could last for 10 years. So it's always important that you have great fabrication, but what's also important is that you're choosing something that the skin color matches the tones of the palette of the fashion, that it's not going to make you like sweat a lot, because let's face it, when you're trying to lose weight and you want to hold on to your wardrobe, if it's moisture wicking, that's better, because it means that it's releasing it out of your body, and it's also not staying in the garment, so it won't stain, which is really important. So always keep that in mind when you're buying something about wicking. But animal prints, I want to just take a moment and talk about animal prints. There are only a few things I swear by in fashion. One is lace, one is animal prints, and one is leather, because they never go out of style. Think of all the different decades. Yeah, I mean, think about all the different decades in time. You'll see those three elements throughout all of them. So if you had to buy something, that's an investment piece or something that you're looking for a special occasion, you'll almost always get it right if there's some inclusion of those elements, even if it's a small lace detail, small piece of leather inserting, or if it's just a little bit of animal. Animal can be very powerful, as I think you stated a little earlier. You don't want to look like a cheetah.
That was me.
I knew somebody said it, wasn't sure who it was, but it's all about choosing what's right for you.
Right.
And different animal prints speak to different people, and some people just don't like prints at all. But feel free to touch some of these items. But the fabrication on this is like a cotton. And because it's a cotton linen with a little bit of a blend in it, and it's got a tribal feeling, which almost feels like animal, but it's not, which is what's great about it. It's like you can wear it both ways. It'll actually be able to collect the moisture from your body when you're in a hot and tropical climate, or even if you're working out. You want something that's going to absorb it, but then be able to release it. So it's going to be important that you do that.
I love that. It looks so flattering too, where the tie is on the waist.
It does. It's a peplum, and I'm sure you guys have heard that term used in fashion a lot. Yes. Peplums are really amazing on the body, because what they do is they actually give you a slightly higher waist, and then they hide your high hip. And for a lot of people, we collect weight in that area. Like you hear on men, it's referred to as a spare tire, and love handles and things of that nature. So it's about hiding some of that. And directly behind me is a blue jumpsuit, and you'll see this. This is a peplum. So this is what we call a double tier. So it actually does the front, and it does a little bit in the back as well. So if maybe you have a little bit too much back and you want to hide it a little bit, the peplum sort of minimizes. But it's a great detail, and that's what really gives that great wraparound illusion on that piece.
Yeah, I know you also have your shape effects stuff. So that's always exciting for anybody who wants to hide anything or just smooth their silhouette, which I'm all for that myself.
Which, by the way, can we talk about that? Because I know everyone here is probably thinking, she's perfect, she has an amazing body, and it's true.
Thank you.
I mean, let's be clear, it's true.
Thank you.
But you still, in your mind, always want something that's that much better. And we talked about that a little earlier. So what we invented at Spiegel in the late 90s is a brand called Shape Effects. And what it really is these incredible fashion foundations that are built into the garment. This one's a slip, but they all come in different shapes and sizes, and they're usually built in. This one's removable, so it's one of our new technologies that we've created that you can actually take it out and wear it with other garments.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm going to pass this down, but what's amazing about it is the fabric gives, and it stretches in a way that holds you in and firms your body. Now, what's also great is it's medically proven that if you wear it enough long term, it'll actually help you to reduce cellulite. Because your body is building cellulite and fat from mobility and your body's ability to store it. So when you're wearing a compression garment, or when you're wearing something that's like a fashion foundation that's holding you in place, your body doesn't think it has more room for storage. So it doesn't add additional fat to it. And on top of that, because it's not allowing that extra friction that you would typically have with you and your garment, it's actually more comfortable for you. There's breathability, so you're not sweating as much. It's actually much easier for you, and it's good for your posture. It actually holds you in place and supports your back. So those are great characteristics, because like anything, it's not always comfortable.
Right.
So I always like people to understand that there's really a method to the madness of it, and it really does help a great deal.
Yeah, one of my big concerns is like being able to move with it on stage because sometimes I feel constricted wearing girdles.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate putting them on because and you feel like you're wearing so much.
Yes.
This
And
is definitely not my mama's girdle.
No, it's not.
Okay,
And,
this feels
and
good.
we design ours also to be sexy because there's
Yeah.
that awkward moment. I mean, we all know about like support foundations that go under
Yeah.
underneath, and then you go on a date
Right.
and you come home, and then it's like,
You have to
let me
rush to the
just
bathroom.
run away
Yeah.
for 10 minutes and
use the
try and get out of it. And,
Yeah.
and let's also be clear, you can't hide the lines.
No,
Right.
They're always on your body. People always know that it was there.
Yeah.
These are all designed so that if you have lines anywhere, they look like bra straps,
Okay.
or they look like lines that should be there. But generally speaking, there are no lines that come off of this.
Nice.
Because of the way they're designed and engineered. And also, they're built in. So when you take your dress off, when you take your skirt off, no one has to know. It's your secret. And it's yours to tell if you want to. We also put it in pencil skirts, which is amazing. Yes, and we've been talking about pencil skirts a little earlier in the episode. So this skirt, what's amazing about it, other than the shape effects inside of it, which is also really cool, is these wonderful elliptical lines. So, and this isn't a ponte, which is a very forgiving stretch fabrication. So we talked about the ability to yo-yo a little bit and have fabrics that work with you. This has a curved waist to it. So you'll notice the hip comes out and then the waist comes in. If you look at a pencil skirt on a hanger and it's just straight up and down, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not going to have the ability to come around your hip and sit on your waist. And if you lose or gain weight with it, it'll never fit. So you need something that's got curve to it and some stretch in it. And that curve is always going to make sure that your hip is the predominant feature, because that's really what makes a pencil skirt sexy. If it's too straight and it skips over the hip, it's just not going to be flattering.
Okay.
No matter how you
What
style
if you
it,
have no
exactly, it'll
hips?
always feel boxy. And these curves will always make sure your hip is accentuated.
All right, Richard, is it time yet?
It is time.
Okay.
Okay, ladies. So I did take the time to do some sketches for you, and I'm going to show you one of each that is a recommendation and a representation of what I think is going to be a great starting platform for where you want to be. It doesn't mean that I think that this is going to be the finale look for you, or that I think that this is where you're going to be long term, but I think it's a good stepping stone. And I think that's important, because with every step in fashion, it's always like one step forward and to get to a much further distance. So with that in mind, Brandy.
Yay.
So my vision for you was, I know that you have such beautiful legs, and I want to get you to embrace them, but I also know that you feel maybe not 100% ready to do that yet.
Right.
So in fashion right now, there's a huge trend called a high-low, which means that it's like shorter in the front and longer in the back. And what's great about that trend is that it's perfectly happening. Everything is hip about it right now, but at the same time, for you, it'll allow you to showcase your legs, but you'll feel like you have coverage. And I think that'll help give you that sort of psychology in your mind of, I have coverage, but I'm still feeling a little sexy. And sort of get past that boundary, and then once you've gotten used to that over the next couple of weeks, we can start working towards getting you into the shorter lengths, the above the knees, and
We'll
then
see.
and then a mid thigh. I want us to get
see
to a
some
mid
booty
thigh.
shorts.
Because if you were wearing like a beautiful mid thigh dress with high boots, it'd be very fashionable. You would still feel like you had that kind of coverage. So the dress that I had in mind for you is what I call my Amy dress. So this is Amy. She's short in the front and she's long in the back. So she likes a good party. And she ties around the waist, because again, you have this beautiful waist, and it gets hidden, I think, a lot with fashion choices that we all make, which is, what I think looks good for me. But this has this great tie, which you can choose to make as tight or as loose as you want. And it's elasticated in the back, so it'll give, again, as you go up and down in size, or as you're working towards your goal weight, you'll be able to tie it tighter and let it go with you.
Very nice.
But the key to this is really that understanding of having that beautiful ability to show off your legs, but still feeling like you have some coverage.
I can see that with a leopard shoe.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So cute.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Super
Yeah, it's
cute.
Yeah, and it has these great little shoulder ties, and what's nice about those two is that you can actually move them down. So as you get more comfortable with your body, it'll actually open up the bust, and you can show more of your bust line at the same time.
I love that.
So as you get there,
Accentuate the positive.
so it's like a training dress. We're gonna get you to the mid thigh.
All right.
So that's
love it.
my
Thank
vision,
you.
and there are many more to come, and I'm super excited to
Thank
see
you.
all the
It's
different styles
awesome.
that we're gonna have for you.
All right, so up next, Rochelle.
Yes.
All right, Rochelle.
The excitement continues. I love it. So this is one of my fun pieces. And it's actually right behind you. It's the metallic dress that you see there. That everyone is swooning over. What's amazing about this is that we talked about sleeveless, and we're going to get you there.
Okay.
But I know also to get you there, it's got to have a little flavor, it's got to have a little personality, and you got to feel it.
Okay.
So it needed to be that little bit of extra sparkle, that extra little sass, something a little sexy.
Okay.
Because I felt like if I got you into a dress that motivated you, you would do it. Do you feel motivated by that dress?
Yeah.
I think it would. And what's great also about it is that the length on you, because of your height, the length on that dress is going to be right at your knee, and it's going to feel flirty. And what you can't see on the hanger is that when it twirls, it's fantastic.
Wow.
And it also has the shape built into it with the removable slip, which we talked about earlier. So, till you get to your goal weight, that'll help you feel like what it's going to look like and give you, again, that little extra confidence in wearing it. So,
wow.
I think that's going to be key.
I love it. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I'm jealous.
All right. And then next we've got Nicole. All right,
Nicole.
Nicole.
I've been doing my happy dance.
Ooh.
So, pencil skirts.
Yes.
And I love it. She's ready. She's like, I'm on it. I'm just going to put it on right now.
Yeah, totally.
We talked a little bit earlier about those beautiful elliptical lines. So what I really saw for you was that skirt and those elliptical lines, because you have really great sense of taste. And you can't teach that. You can't sell that. Your vision board, you were very specific about what you liked and what looked good on your body. And I thought that was extremely smart and very on it. So what I thought for you was those great elliptical lines, and then also, if you want to grab it, there's a blue pencil skirt on the table there with your name on it. This is the more high fashion. And because you said you used to have this great wardrobe that you didn't have anymore, this is that way of getting that beautiful high fashion touch with that great piping detail, the exposed metal zipper on the back. And then later when we get down that road, a cigarette pant perhaps on a jumpsuit.
Ooh, yeah.
Because again, it's got that great fashion sensibility to it that ties to what you love about the fitted
I like the
styling.
inside.
I like the
leopard.
inside.
Isn't that beautiful? You can never have enough leopard lining. So
I think
This
it's
is beautiful.
beautiful in blue too.
Yeah.
It's a good color for you.
I feel like you need some color because I feel like you've been missing it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get you back in the fun.
Thank you.
All right.
That's great.
Speaking of fun, we got Miss Nikki.
I'm so excited. So we talked about one pieces and two pieces.
Yes.
So again, I want to do baby steps. I want to get you to that two piece, but I want to get there when you're ready, because otherwise it could set you back a little bit. If you put it on before you feel like you're ready or before you feel comfortable with it, I feel like, like the girl that gets back in the car at the beach that we were talking about. I have so many of those girls that are like size zeros, and they just feel like, oh, I'm not ready. So I want to start off with a one piece, and I have a couple of great options behind me. One here also in the leopard, which I think is amazing.
That's cute.
So what's great about these? I mean, it's got personality and it's got a little flair, because I know you're a performer, so we want to make sure that drawing a little bit of attention, but to the right areas. So this has this great pleating in the bust. So what's great is that you have the print, but we didn't want to do too much ruching because it can draw too much attention in the print. But with the pleating, it actually gives you this little bit of extra bust in the front. So it creates the illusion of a slimmer waist from the side. And that's important. And the black panels also create the illusion of a slimmer waist, and it draws the eye where you want it to be seen, which is the midriff that you're working on and that you've worked so hard for and that you want to have control over.
Yes.
One of the other things that I love are what we call tankinis. So, a lot of people think of Spiegel and they don't think about the fact that we created some of the most famous swimwear styles in the world, one of which is a tankini. So this actually has this beautiful, excuse me for a moment. You can see. Tankini. So it has this beautiful sort of like double layer, if you will, because the swimsuit is all built in as one piece underneath.
Okay. That's cute.
The secondary layer is ruching.
Okay.
So it comes over and it's like a cover up.
Okay.
Now, again, this is where we talk about baby steps, because as you're getting to that two-piecer, you may want to tempt the water. And try it out a little bit and go, okay, I want to see what feels good on my body, because we're going to have to hone what's going to look good on your body. And we won't know that till we try a few bikinis on you and some swimsuits and see, what do you love? Because some people love a halter neck, some people love the strap, some people like strapless. So we can begin to dissect and understand what's going to look good on you and what's going to feel good.
Okay.
Because swimsuits are a little uncomfortable and just by their natural nature. But the cover-ups and the tankinis are a great win, especially for any woman that's struggling with, I want to get to that midriff, Or if it's winter and you're going on vacation and maybe you haven't been dieting as much as you wanted to, it's a great alternative.
I even like the tankies because I like how you can take the top and actually put it in different places on you, and it cuts your legs differently.
Right.
Like for me, the 80s when the big
Yes.
hiked up in,
Yes.
it's never been a good look for me. I'm the 70s straight across kind of girl, and those give that illusion
Those
really
hikes
well.
were never a good look for anyone.
Okay. Good, I never got into
Don't
it. I'm
feel
glad.
bad. But you bring up an interesting point, which is you can wear it as a tunic or as a dress almost. So if you've been on the beach all day and you don't want to change before you go to your car, before you go home, you just pull it down and it's like a little dress. So it is it's a big added feature.
I like it. I like the versatility of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the color's cute.
So many
That's
great options.
exciting.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh no,
awesome.
please.
You're the
This is
best.
just the beginning.
Wow.
You're amazing. These are beautiful. I'm jealous. Where's mine? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's funny you should mention that.
What? Oh, no.